My name is Roy Hanney. I'm a course leader for the media production programme at Solent University. What does my job involve on a day-to-day basis? It's very varied. It usually involves talking to people. There's a lot of talking to people, talking to staff, talking to students, talking to more staff, talking to more students, talking to managers. There's a lot of communication involved. I think that's probably primarily what I do, is spend my day communicating. I think most people who are working as lecturers would say the really positive thing about it is like spending time with young people, engaging with young people, and that sort of sense of nurturing people. You see people over 3 years kind of go through tremendous changes, and for those that are really successful, they come out high flyers. Others might struggle, and you kind of help them and support them to kind of get the best out of the experience, and that can be really rewarding. Working in higher education can be secure once you actually have a job. A lot of people who are coming in new to education, higher education, are actually in very precarious and insecure jobs, and it takes a while for them to find a place where they can kind of get that security. Even that said, you know, everything is based on recruitment now. Everything's based on surveys and league tables, and it's very easy to find yourself in a situation where cuts are being made, and so that the kind of security that higher education had once perhaps doesn't exist today. One of the barriers for me getting into teaching was, although I had a degree, which I'd also done as a mature student, and I had bankable experience in the industry, I hadn't worked for the BBC or ITV as a producer or director, so I'd come from technical grades, and so getting in as a lecturer direct from that was a challenge. So initially I found work at a film school in London, and I came in as a technical manager and ran all the technical services and managed all the technical instructors. And while I was doing that, I did my postgraduate teaching qualification, which you definitely need for to work in higher education nowadays. And that got me a job first at Chichester, and then here eventually at Solent. If you want to work in media or media practice related areas, having some industry experience is really important. There are two main routes into teaching in higher education. One is to go and do your degree, go on and do an MA, go on and do a PhD, and then kind of look for work as an academic. And that's the sort of theoretical academic approach, and there are lots of people in the university here who've done that, and that's been their way into the teaching. Other people come in from a practice side, and so they may have spent time working in the industry, either in all sorts of different roles, and what they bring to the course and to the teaching is slightly different. In that what they're very good at is how the industry works, how people work in the industry, what we call real world learning. And so having that is really important and very bankable. Certainly if I was interviewing a lecturer to teach on our media production course, I would be looking for people who have some real industry experience that they can bring to the course, rather than just purely academic. Kind of qualities a good lecturer needs, they need curiosity, because one of the things that you need to do as a lecturer, you need to keep learning. The learning doesn't stop. The world's changing, the industry's changing, everything's kind of constantly in motion, and you have to have a curiosity about the world and what's going on in order to keep driving that learning. And I think that's really, really important. You have to have a passion for wanting to work with young people. That, again, that's really important, because that's what's going to get you coming into work on a daily basis, I think. So I've been teaching for about 20 years now, and I think if there's one thing I've learned during that time is that you need to be flexible, adaptable, and you need a lot of resilience to keep moving through the changes. and you've got to want to be here. I think you really do have to want to be here. The days when academia was a kind of a sort of leisure activity are long gone. It is hard work and it's very demanding and constantly challenging as well. So I think you've got to be here, you've got to be adaptable, flexible and resilient.